at large, bringing comfort, safety and reliability. Witness their impact on the people, the economy, and Nigeria's transportation future.
Harry Executive Transport Company, who was actually incorporated sometime in 2024, and the decision to establish the company was actually born out of a burden for travelers to Jalingo, especially from Abuja. And I saw that need and tried to reach out to existing transport companies to fill the gap, but they were not forthcoming. And so I decided to go into it myself. That is the main essence of this company, to connect Taraba State to other parts of the country, especially Abuja and Yola, comfortably for executive travelers.
We offer executive services to both individuals and group of people. The kind of services we render depends on the needs in which our customers wishes for us to offer. Either wedding, conferences, ambulance services or car hire services, we ensure that we give you the very best of service.
We offer shuttle services. We started with Jalingo Yola. And right now, as I'm talking to you, we are already looking out for a terminal in Abuja, because Abuja route is actually the ultimate. That was the motivation behind the establishment of the company, so that travels between Abuja and Jalingo can be done comfortably. So we are trusting God that by April, before the end of April, we will start the Abuja route. We are already looking out for a terminal. And so that is the basic thing. And we go into car hire services too. You can hire our Sienna buses, you can hire our Hummer buses, you can also hire our ambulances. So we have all these types of vehicles in place. And I want to say here, what I mean by travel in comfort is that if you are traveling with our Sienna bus, for example, we don't take more than 5 passengers on our shuttle trips. But if you hire it, we allow you to take up.
Welcome to the broadcast of News at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Now the major headlines. On the international news, Taraba to host International Investors Summit in May 2025. Nigerian Army and the media strengthens collaboration against misinformation. Federal government begins payment of 77,000 naira to NYC allowance nationwide. In entertainment news, Psalm TV CEO hosts staff and well wishes to a party after grand commissioning of Psalm TV Multimedia Digital Studio in Jalingo. In international news, Sudan Army recaptures Gotan Airport, gains key edges over RSF. In business news, Nigerians' pepper price skyrocket 400% due to severe scarcity. Farmers blame pest infestation. In sport news, Sunshine Stars return to Ijebu Ode for NPFL survival battle against Heartland. My name is Bridget James. Now the news in full. Taraba State will host an International Investors Summit in May 2025 to attract global investors and development partners. Governor Agbo Kefas has announced speaking while receiving the European Union ambassador to Nigeria and West Africa, Gutia Mikor. In Jalingo, the governor emphasized his administrator's commitment to fostering an investor-friendly environment. He highlighted the summit as a key platform to showcase Taraba's economic potential, alongside plans to develop Gumti National Park to boost tourism and economic activities. Ambassador Mignot welcomed the initiative, reaffirming the EU's ongoing partnership with the state. Lilian Yakubu, Som TV correspondent, has the details.
Taraba's vast economic potential to the world. He further noted ongoing plans to develop the Gumti National Park, a move aimed at generating economic activities and boosting the state tourism sector. The governor reiterated Taraba's readiness to engage with foreign investors, facilitate technology transfer, and enhance economic opportunities. In his response, Ambassador Mignot expressed his delight at visiting Taraba, describing it as the first Nigerian state he is officially engaging with in his capacity. He acknowledged the EU's long-standing partnership with the state and cited previous collaborations on sustainable development projects. The visit concluded with the governor presenting souvenirs to the EU delegation in appreciation of their partnership with Taraba State.
We've done a lot to have gotten to this place we are in Taraba so that we can open up the state for investors. And as a follow-up to that, we are organizing an international investors for investment summit sometime in May. The date will soon be announced, and we believe that we're working in collaboration with an international PR group that will help us to showcase our investment summit, and we are fortunate to have you here. Also, you are going to help us to clear some doubt because we have many investors from Europe that want to come, but I know that a lot of them have reservations. So with you coming here today, that reservation has been broken, and it will remain broken.
At the end of January, I had the honor to present my credentials officially to His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, and so now I can officially engage with ministers, governors, pay official visits like this one to states, and Taraba State is one of the first states I'm visiting. And in this framework, we have had recently some cooperation projects implemented here in the state, like the EU support to food security and resilience in Taraba State project, which was implemented by Oxfam and ended a few months ago. In 6 LGAs of the state: Ardokola, Komi, Takum, Donga, Ukari, and Zing. And then we had also another project on conflict resolution between farmers and herders, the Comitas project, which has been implemented by Search for Common Ground together with IOM and Mercy Corps, especially in 2 LGAs, Zing and Lao. And this project has very recently also come to an end.
The Nigerian Army is strengthening its collaboration with the media to combat misinformation and enhance national security. At the media chat in Gombe, top military officials, academics, and experts emphasized the need for responsible journalism and strategic partnership. Som TV correspondent Kamal Hamajo has the details.
Commitment to working with the media to enhance national security. At the media chat in Gombe, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluwede, represented by Major General Obina Ojunwa, stressed the need for responsible journalism in addressing security challenges.
While the pen is considered mightier than the sword, can all agree that our current security environment demands stronger cooperation and partnership between the pen and the sword, which in this regard represents the media and the army. Therefore, we must maintain regular communication channels to ensure transparent reporting on military operations, timely dissemination of information, countering disinformation and misinformation while building public confidence.
The Chief of Civilian Military Affairs, Major General O.C. Chibuisi, and the Managing Director of the News Agency of Nigeria, Ali Muhammad Ali, called for ethical reporting to counter misinformation.
The theme for today's media chat is harnessing whole of society approach to enhance information management, national security in perspective. This theme was carefully selected on the premise of harmonizing efforts between the Nigerian Army and the media towards improved communication, engendering positive narratives, transparency, and mutual respect in the joint pursuit of national security objectives.
For us to synergize in the areas of objective media reportage, bearing in mind that promoting national interest, peace and security is our collective responsibility.
In the goodwill message, the Vice Chancellor of Federal University Kashere, Professor Umar Pate, urged stakeholders not to take peace for granted, emphasizing the constitutional roles of both security agencies and the media.
In life, there are three things we take for granted: peace, good health, and freedom. Freedom to receive and impart information. Now, going to my own constituency, the media, I wrote my PhD on press and military relations in Nigeria 1985 to 1993. When I was defending it, or in the course of my research, that was when I got very close to the military and got to know a lot and appreciated why certain things happen. And of course, the conclusion is we have misunderstanding and fractions or sometimes frictions between the military and the press for 3 or 4 major reasons. One, misunderstanding of roles. The military have their own roles clearly defined to protect, defend, and promote safety and security of the country. The media, they have their own roles also defined constitutionally, psychologically, and structurally to inform and also in a way defend the interests of Nigeria. But how do they do the two? In the course of execution, that is why you have the friction, because for the military and the police and the other security agencies, information is sacrosanct. Therefore, we cannot afford to misuse information. For the media, we have to disseminate information at the fastest, earliest moment. That's why you have flash number 1. So they need to understand their roles in the business of information management and dissemination.
Retired Brigadier General Sani Pukasheka Usman spoke on tackling misinformation and security challenges. He stressed collaboration between the government, security agencies, media, and the public, recommending stronger partnership and monitoring mechanism.
Addressing them requires a united effort involving various stakeholders, which include the following, starting with the government. Government plays a very critical role in establishing regulatory framework, supporting media literacy programs, and implementing policies to curb the spread of fake news, disinformation, and misinformation, while promoting a fact-checking initiative.
The event held at Custodian Hotel in Gombe featured discussion, lectures, and awards recognizing contributions to media-military relations. It reinforced the Army's dedication to open dialogue, transparency, and synergy with the media in tackling security threats. From Gombe, Kamal Hammajo, Sum TV News.
Congratulations to all our COP members out there. The federal government has commenced payments of the new 77,000 monthly allowance to National Youth Service COP members. The pay increase announced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in September 2024 initially sparked excitement, but was met with delays, leaving COP members receiving the previous 33,000 naira allowance for nearly 6 months. Report has it that serving COP members in some states in Nigeria has confirmed the payment in face of the concern that the payments may be in batches, as some COP members have received their allowances while others await theirs. The development follows assurance from the Minister of Youth that the government would clear the backlogs of the 77,000 naira allowance. 7 governors from Bauchi, Adamawa, Bayelsa, Enugu, Osun Plateau, and Zamfara State have jointly filed a lawsuit against President Bola Tinubu, contesting his decision to suspend Rivers State's Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, and members of the State House of Assembly. The governors, all from the PDP, assert that the President's March 18th proclamations issued under a state of emergency is unconstitutional and poses a serious threat to democratic governance, relying on Section 1 of Section 5, Subsection 2 and 305 of the 1999 Constitution. They argue that the President lacked the legal authority to remove elected officials and install a sole administrator. Through this legal action, they seek an urgent judicial intervention to overturn the suspension and uphold constitutional checks on executive power. However, legal experts speculate that the President may have invoked the doctrines of necessity, a principle applied in extraordinary circumstances when strict constitutional compliance could hinder governance. This raises a fundamental question. Does the urgency of stabilizing Rivers State justify overriding its democratic institution? On this unfolding constitutional debate, our in-house public affairs analyst, Mr. Abraham Joda Minor, shares his perspective.
Good evening. The situation in Rivers is a serious constitutional matter that requires caution and strict adherence to the rule of law. The decision by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to suspend the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, members of the assembly on state of emergency has sparked intense debate about the limits of executive power in a democracy. While stability in any state is important, it must not come at the cost of constitutional governance. Nigeria operates under a system of laws, and any actions that appears to override elected authority must be subjected to judicial scrutiny. That is why the move by the 7 governors to approach the Supreme Court is commendable. Instead of resorting to political brinkmanship, they have chosen the path of legal interpretation, seeking clarity on whether the president's actions align with the 1999 Constitution. This case, to me, present the Supreme Court with a crucial opportunity to define the extent of presidential powers in declaring the state of emergency. The question is, can the president unilaterally remove elected officials in such circumstances, or must he follow specific constitutional provisions? Now, these are questions that require clear answers to prevent further constitutional crisis. So as Nigerians, we must remain patient and allow the judiciary to do its job. The rule of law must prevail, and whatever decision the Supreme Court arrive at, we have a lasting impact on how our democracy functions. And in the end, this is not just about Rivers State. It is about the integrity of Nigeria's democratic institutions. So just like the governors have approached the court, we appeal to Nigerians to to wait for the Supreme Court to interpret and also set a clear path so that in the future we may not need to go through all these constitutional crises to arrive at it. So that is my opinion of the situation so far. But kudos to the governors of those states that have taken the matter to the Supreme Court. And that is just what I have to say for now. Good evening.
Moving forward now, the Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo has declared a state of emergency on public schools due to their deteriorating conditions. During an inspections of school in Ekpowa, Oka, and Ego local government areas, Okpebolo expressed concern over poor facilities in urban schools. He emphasized the need for a better learning environment, reaffirming his campaign promises to improve public education across the state. The governor cited issues such as erosion, cutting off access roads, and school lacking fences, particularly at Army Day secondary schools and If Barrack secondary schools. He announced that immediate work will begin to address these challenges. Commissioner for Education Padi Iyamo noted that the governor's visit aimed to assess conditions firsthand and ensure that Edo children receive quality education in conducive environments. Taraba State Governor Dr. Agbo Kaifers has urged religious leaders to play a greater role in fostering peace and stability for the progress of the state. He met the call on Wednesday following a closed-door meeting with the Archbishop of Abuja. Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, speaking to journalists after the meeting, Governor Kaifers, who also engaged with the Bishop of Jalingo Diocese, Most Reverend Charles Hamawa, and the Bishop of Wukari Diocese, Most Reverend Mark Nzukwen, emphasized the critical role of religious leaders in bridging divides and strengthening harmony. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to collaborating with Christian leaders to enhance peace-building initiatives. In response, Archbishop Kaigama commended Governor Kaifers for his transformative efforts in the state. He acknowledged the governor's achievements and prayed for wisdom in leadership. He also stressed the need for continued development, particularly in security, urging both religious leaders and residents to support the administration's vision for Taraba State. The National Directorate of Employment's Kaduna Directorate has resettled 553 women and youth with starter pack and soft loans after completing vocational training. State Coordinator Hajia Halima Waziri said the initiative part Hope Employment Initiative aimed to empower 93,731 unemployed Nigerians, with 2,613 slots allocated to Kaduna State. Beneficiaries receive training in digital marketing, catering, fashion designs, and other skills. Director General Silas Ogara on skill development, resettlement, and job creation, with 5,532 beneficiaries nationwide receiving support to establish businesses. Commercial drivers in Enugu State, including tricycle and mini-bus operators, have raised concern over the planned introductions of compressed natural gas buses by the state government, fearing job losses and economic hardship. The drivers, already burdened by increased taxes and levies, claim the allegedly linked to the government. They argue that the rollout, which they allege is backed by a 1.8 billion naira contract, could displace over 200,000 individuals, including drivers, vendors, and dependents. Additionally, the protests, the imposition of higher daily taxes, which have surged from 350 naira to 1,000 naira over the past 20 months, while calling for competitive transport policies. The drivers demand that the government allow private operators to continue their businesses rather than monopolizing public transports. The concern were also raised that practically of a proposed card payment system for the CNG buses, which they believe could exclude rural residents from accessing transportation. The Enugu State Ministry of Transportation has dismissed the allegations, asserting that the government has no intention of driving out private transporters and denying claims of excessive taxation. Boko Haram insurgents launched an attack on a military based in Sabon Gari, Dambo local government area of Borno State, resulting in multiple casualties among soldiers. Local sources reported that the assault occurred on Monday evening with heavy gunfire causing significant losses in an attempt to reinforce the base military. The military personnel reportedly stepped on a land mine, leading to further injuries and potential fatalities, while exact figure remains unclear. A military source confirmed that several soldiers were killed. The Boko Haram State Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Usman Tar, acknowledged an incident involving an improvised explosion device, but denied reports of a direct attack, stating that one soldier was killed and another injured due to stepping on the device. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has urged military commanders to strengthen collaborations with stakeholders to enhance security efforts. Speaking on First Senior Command and Leadership Seminar in Nasarawa State, he emphasized strategic communication and cooperation with security agencies and civil society for long-term stability. The Oyo State government has intensified surveillance, case management and vaccination campaign to prevent a diphtheria outbreak following recent cases reported in part of the country. Healthcare workers have been placed on the alert to respond swiftly to suspended cases. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Oluwaserimi Ajetumobi, urged residents to maintain personal hygiene, adhere to public health guidelines, and ensure children receive the pentavalent vaccine at 6, 10, and 14 weeks of age. She also advised pregnant women to take the tetanus diphtheria vaccine during antenatal care. Diphtheria, a highly contagious bacterial infection, spread through respiratory droplets and direct contact, primarily affecting the throat and upper airwaves. Symptoms include sore throat, fever, swollen limbs, nose, and in severe cases, respiratory distress, according to the Nigerian Central for Disease Control and Prevention. The country has recorded 26,005 confirmed cases from 42,805 suspected cases across 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, with 1,331 deaths reported. The agency continued to provide technical and off-site support for case identification and response, while urging states to improve reporting and response efforts. Operatives of the Plateau State Police Command have arrested a suspected kidnapper and recovered ammunition in Kwaburi Community, Kante local government area. Acting on intelligence received at 10:40 p.m. on March 25th, officers led by the divisional police officers in Kante apprehended 25-year-old Awal Haruna, an indigene of Kaduna State, at a hotel in the area. A search of the suspects' belongings yielded 51 rounds of 7.62 x 51 millimeter ammunition, 14 rounds of 7.62 x 39 mm ammunition, 1 AA cartridge, an empty AK-47 magazines, assorted charms, and other suspicious items. Police confirmed that investigations are ongoing and efforts are being intensified to track down other members of the criminal syndicates. Stakeholders in Sokoto State have urged the government to increase its annual budget allocation for the information of the Almajiri education system during a media roundtable organized by Plan International in partnership with the Produced Community for Sustainability Initiative. Participants highlighted the urgent need to reform. Musa Mohammed Wamako, director of the State Ministry of Budget, attributed delays in budget implementation to the centralized accounting system introduced during the military area, which has hindered progress. Nura Usman, a director of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, revealed that despite a 70 million naira allocations for Almajiri education in 2024, there was zero budget performance in 2025. The allocation was reduced to 28.27 million naira, further raising concerns. Budget analyst Yusuf Abdullahi also noted that major infrastructure projects for Almajiri schools had received fundings on paper but remain unimplemented. Stakeholders, including NUJ Sokoto Chairman Comrade Usman Binji, emphasized the need to integrate Almajiri's education into the formal system. Meanwhile, development partners expressed hope and improved budget management. The improved budget management could derive meaningful progress in reforming the system. Speaking at the meeting with the Delta State Traditional Council during her 2 days walking visit, she emphasized the administration focus on health care and called on traditional leaders to advocate for improved health awareness within their communities. As part of the visit, the First Lady formally presented 10,000 naira protective gears to midwives and frontline health care workers in the South-South region. The initiative marks the third phase of ongoing RHI intervention in the health sector. The Massive Development Association of Gwer East Local Government, Benue State, has strongly opposed the Federal Ministry of Livestock plan to take over Rev Kettle's ranch for ranching in a statement signed by its President General, Professor Alhaji Loses, and Secretary Moses Lorja, aimed to revive the controversial Roga initiative. The association urged the government to focus on tackling insecurity and enabling displaced farmers to return to the land. MDA emphasized that ranching is a private business and should not justify forced land acquisition. The group called on Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Aliya, to reject the plan and protect the rights and livelihoods of the state residents. The Ogun State Commissioner for Environment, Ola Oresanya has called for improved water management and environmental sustainability to combat climate change. Speaking at the 2025 World Water Day event in Abeokuta, Oresanya warns that poor water resources management threatens the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on clean water and sanitation. He emphasized the importance of glaciers in the global water cycle, noting that their depletions contribute to rising sea level and extreme weather. He highlighted Ogun State initiatives such as the Water Abstraction Scheme, aimed at monitoring groundwater usage and expanding access to clean water. Oresanya urged industries and individuals to collaborate with the government on water conservation, climate actions, and environmental education. The Nasarawa State Police Command has arrested a robbery suspect after 4 of his accomplices died in a crash while fleeing in a stolen vehicles, according to Police Public Relations Officer SP Rahman Rashid Ahmed. Robbers stole a Toyota Camry at gunpoint near Kefi Stadium but crashed at Bola along the Kefi-Abuja Expressway while attempting to escape. Police operative from Goshen City Division transported the 5 occupants to Jopez Medical Center, where 4 were confirmed dead, and the surviving suspect was placed under police watch. Recovered items include charms, knives, screwdrivers, wristwatch, and 12 mobile phones. The police urge the public to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities. The Kwara State government has extended free tuberculosis TB treatment and diagnosis service to children, including free chest X-rays and specialized diagnosis. Speaking at the 2025 World Tuberculosis Day commemoration in Ilorin, First Lady Professor Olu Folake Abdulrazak, represented by Alhaji Abdul Ganiyu Obaloyeru, urged residents to report suspected TB cases for early treatment. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Amina El Imam, announced plans to double the state's 646 TB treatment centers and highlighted the approval of free health insurance for TB patients and their families. Officials emphasized the importance of public participation in TB awareness and prevention efforts. Ekiti State Government Abiodun Oyebanji reaffirms Promosido Nigerian's role in the state's economic growth during his visit to the company's in Lagos headquarters and factory. He praised the successful public-private partnership behind the Ikun Dairy firm, highlighting its contribution to industrial growth and jobs creation. The government assured partial media of government support to enhance business expansion and reduce production costs. He also revealed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's interest in Ekiti agricultural development, signing potential federal investment. Touring Promasida's factory, Oyabanji commended its technological advancement and commitment to local sourcing. The visit reinforced plans to build job creations, skill development, and sustainable agriculture, positioning Promasido as a key player in Ekiti economic transformation. A A gas cylinder explosion on Inner Galaxy Street Company in Ugwala, Obuza, Asa, Ukwa West Local Government, Abia State on March 2025. Climate claimed 2 lives and left 11 others injured. The explosion occurred at 10:13 a.m. when a customer accidentally dropped the gas cylinder, triggering a massive blast. Emergency respondents rushed the injured to Pugsy Hospital in Port Harcourt for treatment. Upon arrival, police officers led by Supol or Behan secured the scene and began an investigation. Hospital reports later confirmed the death of 2 male victims while the injured were responding to treatment. The chairman of the main organizing committee of the Niger Delta Sports Festival, Alabo Boma Iyaya, has expressed satisfaction with the preparation for the upcoming event in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, during an inspection of hospital facilities and competition revenues. Iyaye, who also served as the Executive Director of Administration and Finance at the Niger Delta Development Commission, praised the infrastructure of the Dakada Skill Acquisition Center, which will accommodate 5 of the 9 participating states and host basketball, tennis, and volleyball events. Other inspected venues included the West Etam Sports Centers, Ultra Fit Sports Centers, and the swimming pool sections of the Uyo Township Stadium, currently undergoing renovation. Iyaye emphasized the festival's role in talent discovery and infrastructure development, aligning with a theme, Beyond Oil, Harnessing Talent, sponsored by the NDDC and supported by corporate partners. The festival is scheduled to take place from April 1st to 8th, 2025. A fire outbreak at Iweka Road near Ochanja Market in Onitsha, Anambra State on the night of March 25, 2025, destroying multiple shops and goods worth millions of naira. The blast, which takes around 8:30 p.m., raged for several minutes before firefighters arrived. Many traders had already left for the day, leaving their shops vulnerable. The Anambra State Fire Service received a distress call at 9:40 p.m. and deployed a team to contain the flames. According to Fire Chief Chukudi Chiketa, the fire affected 4 shops in a 2-story building, primarily dealing in furniture materials such as leather and foams. The causes of the incident remains unknown. Firefighters battled the blast until 3:05 a.m. the following day, successfully preventing further damage. The Cross River State House of Assembly has recommended the immediate suspension of 4 University of Cross River State lecturers over allegations of misconduct and abuse of office. Those affected are Dr. Emmanuel Etta, Dr. John Ina, Ukam, Professor Matthew Nsing Oga, and Professor Stephen Ochang, all former members of the university's 5th Governing Council. The decision followed a petition by legal firm A.B. Comber and Associates on behalf of Emmanuel Ayo, accusing the officials of illegal textual extension and unauthorized sale of university property. Lawmakers noted that Dr. Etta allegedly remained in office beyond his tenure, which expired in September 2023, and engaged in the sale of university's assets between May and August 2024, violating procurement laws. Following deliberations, the Assembly adopted a resolution for their immediate suspension, pending an investigations by the House Committee on Judiciary, Public Service Matters, Public Petition and Conflict Resolution. Speaker Right Honorable Albert Ayambam reaffirms the Assembly's commitment to transparency and accountability, assuring a thorough probe before making final commendations to the state's governor. Residents of Gombe State looted a trailer carrying food items with the name of Seyi Tinubu, son of Nigerian president. The incident occurred at the Old Bauchi Motor Park along Gombe-Bauchi Road. The truck, which was meant for distribution during Seyi Tinubu's planned visit to the state, was hijacked by a crowd. Video circulating on social media showed that the cartons contained rice, macaroni, sugar, salt, and cooking oil. Seyi Tinubu was scheduled to visit Gombe as part of a nationwide tour, but the trip was cancelled for undisclosed reasons. We are taking a brief commercial break. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Som TV. Stay tuned.
RU Executive Transport, a transportation company ready to change the transportation narrative in Taraba State and Nigeria at large, bringing comfort, safety and reliability. Witness their impact on the people, the economy and Nigeria's transportation future.
RU Executive Transport Company was actually incorporated sometime in 2024, and the decision to establish the company was actually born out of a burden for travelers to Jalingo, especially from Abuja. And I saw that need and tried to reach out to existing transport companies to fill the gap, but they were not forthcoming. And so I decided to go into it myself. That is the main essence of this company, to connect Taraba State to other parts of the country, especially Abuja and Yola, comfortably for executive travelers.
We offer executive services to both individuals and group of people. The kind of services we render depends on the needs in which our customers wishes for us to offer. Either wedding, conferences, ambulance services or car hire services, we ensure that we give you the very best of service.
We offer shuttle services. We started with Jalingo Yola, and right now as I'm talking to you, we are already looking out for a terminal in Abuja, because Abuja route is actually the ultimate. That was the motivation behind the establishment of the company, so that travels between Abuja and Jalingo can be done comfortably. So we are trusting God that by April, before the end of April, we will start the Abuja route. We are already looking out for a terminal. And so that is the basic thing. And we go into car hire services too. You can hire our Sienna buses, you can hire our Hummer buses, you can also hire our ambulances. So we have all these types of vehicles in place. And I want to say here, what I mean by travel in comfort is that if you are traveling with our Sienna bus, for example, we don't take more than 5 passengers on our shuttle trips. But if you hire it, we allow you to take up to 6 passengers. In other words, 3 people can sit at the back, 2 at the center and 1 in front. But if it is through our shuttle services, it's only 5.
We ensure we take off on time and also arrive on time, most especially for our airport passengers that would love to catch up with a flight to their various destinations. And also we provide comfort and relaxation. All our vehicles are fully air-conditioned vehicles.
Welcome back. We are glad you're here. Coming up next is the business, international, and sport news. On entertainment news, the air was electric with excitement as Chief Gabriel Olayinka, CEO of Sun TV, hosted an exclusive post-commissioning celebrations in honor of the Sun TV multimedia digital station's successful launch. The event held at Roadhouse Jalingo brought together Sun TV staffs, media professionals, and well-wishers in a spirited gathering filled with joy and appreciation against the backdrop of the station's officials unveiling Chief Olayinka's gesture was the good one. Let's stand by for video clips.
Reflection and renewed commitment as the management and staff of Sun TV, alongside well-wishers, gathered at Roadhouse Jalingo for an exclusive post-commissioning event. The atmosphere was charged with excitement as Chief Gabriel Olayinka, CEO of Sun TV, hosted the grand occasion, marking a defining moment in the station's journey. The celebration followed the successful unveiling of Sun TV multimedia digital station, a milestone airing a new era in Taraba state media industry. The event brought together media professionals, dignitaries, and stakeholders who shared in the vision of Sun TV as a platform for innovation and excellence. Guests were treated fine dining, engaging conversation, and a moment of lightening entertaining as karaoke performers stole the show. Leading the excitement were Abraham Maida Joe, the director of programs at Sun TV, and James Atta Emmanuel, master control operator, whose energetic performance set the stage ablaze. As the night drew to a close, Chief Olayinka was not left out in the karaoke. At the end of it all, it was clear that Sun TV had not just launched a station, it had ignited a movement of bold storytelling, cutting-edge broadcasting, and a commitment of amplifying the voices of Taraba and beyond. Indeed, the celebration may have ended, but the journey of Sun TV has only just begun.
A new chapter for Sun TV, and Sun TV will grow. Amen. An international brand. Amen. We will have correspondents in all the 13 states of Nigeria. Amen. We will open an office in London. Amen. In Johannesburg. Amen. And everybody that works with Sun TV will prosper. Amen.
Stay tuned for exclusive video highlighted of the event. Reporting for Sun TV is Faith Apollos.
National news. Sudan's army has achieved a major victory in its ongoing conflict with the Rapid Support Forces by recapturing Khartoum Airport, a critical strategic location that had been under paramilitary control since the war began in April 2023. Military sources confirmed that the airport, which had been divided between governments and RSF control is now fully secured. In addition to reclaiming the airport, the army has also taken control of surrounding districts and both sides of the Mayisa Bridge, a key crossing over the Blue Niles in the capital. This leaves Jabal Aliya Bridge, located south of Khartoum, as the last remaining RSF-controlled exit from the city. The latest advances come shortly after the military successfully seized the presidential palace, further weakening RSF's hold over the capital. Report from witnesses and local activities indicates that RSF fighters have been withdrawing southwards, with many residents celebrating their departure. Some videos shared on social media shows prisoners previously held in RSF-controlled areas running freely through the streets. Independent Sudanese analysts suggest that RSF's collapse in certain areas has been more rapid than the army's ability to fully deploy its forces. The conflict between Sudan's armed forces and the RSF has been ongoing for nearly 2 years, resulting in tens of thousands of deaths and the displacement of more than 12 million people. The fighting has also triggered severe humanitarian crisis with food shortages and widespread destructions of infrastructure. With the army now in control of key locations in Khartoum, analysts speculate that the tide of the conflict may be shifting in favor of the government's forces, though the RSF still remains control over some strategic locations. On business news, pepper prices in Nigeria have surged to record high due to widespread scarcity across major markets. A big bag of Rado pepper now sells for an average of 150,000 naira, marking a 400% increase from 30,000 naira in the same period last year. According to a market survey by Business Day farmers, they attribute the shortage to a severe pest infestations affecting pepper farm in key producing states including Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, Plateau, Sokoto, and Bauchi states. The outbreak first noticed in February the devastated crops. Even in greenhouse farms, agricultural authorities have been alerted, but there is no official response yet. Traders are struggling to source enough pepper, with some turning to neighboring countries for import despite high exchange rate costs. The scarcity has disrupted food supply chains, making it harder for households to access these essential ingredients. On to sport news. Sunshine Stars FC, currently battling regulations in the Nigerian Premier Football League, will return the Dipodino Stadium in Ijebu-Ode for their match day 31st fixture against fellow strugglers Heartland FC. The NPFL board granted the club's request to switch from the Remo Star Stadium in Ekene, citing logistical challenges and scheduling issues. The team was initially relocated from Ijebu-Ode to Ekene in December 2024 for their Southwest derby against 3SC, which ended in a 1-0 play. Any home matches at the Akure Township Stadium this season due to prolonged renovation work at the facility. With 33 points from 30 matches, the Akure Bears club is just 1 point behind Heartland, making Wednesday's clash a crucial battle for survival. Head coach Abubakar Bala has expressed confidence in his team's ability to avoid neglection, emphasizing improvements in consecration and finishing. He highlighted the team's 4 goals performance in the last home match as a positive sign, aiming to secure vital points in the remaining 8 games. That's all for this edition of News at 9 p.m. from Som TV. Before we go, here's a recap of the major headlines. On the national news, Taraba to host International Investors Summit in May 2025. Nigerian Army and the media strengthen collaborations against misinformation. Federal government begins payments of 77,000 Naira NYC allowance nationwide. In entertainment news, Som TV CEO hosts staffs and well-wishers to a party after grand commissioning of Som TV Multimedia Digital Studio in Jalingo. In international news, Sudan Army recaptures Khartoum's airport, gain key edges over RSF. In business news, Nigerian's pepper price skyrockets 400% due to severe scarcity. Farmers blame pest infestation. In sport news, Sunshine Stars return to Ijebu-Ode for NPFL survival battle against Heartland. You can also follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. I remain Bridget James. Thank you for watching and good night.